Yo, God's real. I guess the best way to start that off. God is 100% real. I grew up believing God wasn't real. I became a Christian 5, 6 years ago. Um, when God literally spoke to me. But before that, I used to rag on Christianity, rag on Christians. I used to get on their case all the time because I thought I was smart. I thought I was the smartest person around at the time. Most of the people around me were making bad decisions, so it kind of inflated my head a lot, especially my parents. They weren't making really the wisest decisions. They seemed like they were trapped in life. It seemed that they weren't living the best life, so it made me think, yo, I'm not going to make the same stupid mistakes these guys made. Sadly, that's not the case. I ended up making the same mistakes. But, and I got humbled. I got extremely humbled. But, I'm going to tell you guys an experience that I had that, to show you my arrogance as an atheist. I was very arrogant as an atheist, and I thought I was wise, smart. I thought I knew it all. I knew I was blessed, but I didn't know by who. But I'm going to tell you about a time where I stole a seed from God, basically. Okay, so I had this friend, basically, this female friend. She called me up one day, and she had already committed like many abortions. And one day she was about to commit another one. Well, no, she already committed it. So she calls me up, and I guess I was close enough to her to where she was willing to share this information. So she calls me up, and then she's like, basically she's devastated. You know, she just committed this abortion. She's sad. She didn't want to, but she felt like she had to because life is tough. Life is hard. So she felt like she had to. And I think this was like her third abortion or something like that. So, of course, it's crippling her at this point because she's taken many lives. So, she's crying in the living room floor, or not living room floor, kitchen floor, you know. She's telling me the story on the phone. And she's crying in the living room floor. Apparently, when she's crying and she's grieving about all this, the Spirit of God overtakes her. That's what she says. And I'm an atheist at this point. I want you to let you know, I'm an atheist. So the Spirit of God overtakes her at this point. And she calls me around this time. I'm an atheist, and I'm not a good atheist. I'm not a very good atheist at all. And she calls me, and she lets me know. This is a very good friend of me, very close friend. She calls me, and she lets me know that she got an abortion. It was devastating her. And then she went to her kitchen, and she fell down and started crying. And then the Spirit of God came over her and gave her complete and utter peace. Complete and utter peace, right? And then this is exactly what I tell her when she's telling me this. I tell her, and this is how I robbed the seed from her. I was like, you can feel whatever you want to feel in those moments. That's what I said. I think that's exactly what I said. I was like, you can feel whatever you can make yourself think and feel whatever basically you want to feel in those moments. And I stole that seed from her. I remember years later, I became Christian. I had my own personal experience. And then I eventually started trying to talk to her again about God. And guess what? She couldn't hear me. She could not hear me at that point. She didn't want to hear nothing about God. She didn't care about the Bible. She didn't care about none of that. And it's because I had taken that seed from her, and in life, after I took that seed, life had hit her. You know, Satan comes in and he just keeps beating you down afterwards. And then your God after that is either money, some sort of security, something that makes you feel okay. Because now you're in a worse, you're probably you're fighting for your life at this point, because that's how life works. So yeah, that's the level of arrogance I had, because think about it, I didn't experience that. I wasn't the one that experienced that experience. And I said that to her, acting like I knew something that I don't even know. I don't even know, bro. I don't know what she experienced. Why was I saying stuff like that? And I said that to her, and I took it from her. I took that seed from her. You know, the devil used me to take that seed when I was an atheist. I didn't know anything. Where's my humility? I didn't have any humility at that point. And I had robbed that seed from her, and it was a beautiful seed because God had chose to comfort her in that moment of need, because she needed it. She had committed 3 abortions prior to this. The lovely lady, of course, she wanted to have kids, but she was stressed and worried, so she made a drastic decision. And then God was comforting her and letting her know, hey, it's okay. I forgive you. I see you were remorseful. I'm going to comfort you. And he chose to do that, and I still robbed it. I robbed it from her. And then I remember I always regret it. That was one of my regrets in life. I'll look back on that, and it's like, man, the lack of humility that I had at that time, thinking I knew it all, thinking I knew God didn't exist and all this stuff. I didn't know anything, because when God spoke to me, it humbled me in that moment, because it woke me up and made me realize I literally knew nothing. When God spoke to me, Years later after that event, I was like, yo, I know nothing. I don't know nothing. Everything I thought I knew, I don't know nothing. I don't know not a lick of anything. Because now I have this experience that tells me God does exist. And the things that I thought I knew before makes no sense at all. God exists. God exists 110%. And I'm the one to tell you because I'm 33. I became Christian at 28. So most of my years were an atheist, agnostic type of lifestyle. So when God spoke to me at 28, that changed my life and made me start searching for the answers, to really search. And then God knows my heart, so God started to also speak to me as time went on. And I'm not saying I haven't struggled now in my life. I have, because I'm going through a lot of hardship, a lot of trials. But I can promise you, even through these trials, God is with me and He speaks to me. And I literally have nothing to gain from telling you guys this information. I'll tell you guys everything, all my secrets, all my dirt. Honestly, I don't care. I have nothing to lose. But yeah, God is real. I want you guys to know God is real. Be humble. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. Even science teaches you don't know a lick unless you're and even as a scientist, you don't know. You have to constantly do experiments. Sorry for my cursing. You have to constantly do experiments over and over and over again to see if certain things are true. And even then, certain scientists you have to be careful of because they have an agenda. And obviously, you got good scientists who hold them guys accountable and stuff like that. And there's also scientists that believe in God. Check those guys out. God is real. Is more real than you understand. And people go to hell for a certain reason. The hell's there for a reason. It's not because God's evil. And if you have certain questions, let me know in the comment section below so I can get to those, so I can explain certain things to you that you might not understand biblically. Bible is not just like the surface level thing you're supposed to read. It's a lot deeper in certain areas. God is teaching you things through certain things in the scripture. And some of those things are very deep and rich in wisdom, but you have to be willing and humble to try to receive that wisdom from the scriptures. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. You guys take care, and God bless. Peace.